Hi there. I'm sitting outside to read you a story today. I hope the pictures can be seen in the sunshine. We will see. We'll give it a go. The story I chose today is Pumpkin Soup. Maria has a video about talking to your siblings and getting along. So this book is about getting along too. Let's see what happens in Pumpkin Soup by Helen Cooper. Deep in the woods, there is an old white cabin with a pumpkin in the garden. There's a good smell of soup, and at night, with any luck, you might see a bagpiping cat through the window, and a squirrel with a banjo, and a small singing duck. Remember the instruments that came to school that we played with? Did we play with any of those? The banjo is like the guitar that we all got to play with. Pumpkin soup, the best you ever tasted. Maybe, but the cat who slices up the pumpkins and made by the squirrel who sits in the water. I'm going to turn this. Maybe you can see the pages better over this way. I don't know. And it's made by the duck who scoops up the pumpkin and puts in a pinch of salt and just enough to make the flavor yummy. They slurp their soup, they play their songs, and then pop off to bed in a quilt stitched together by cat, embroidered by squirrel, and filled with fine feathers from the duck. And it's peaceful in the old white cabin. Everyone has their own job to do. Everyone is happy, or so it seems. But one morning, the duck woke up early. He tiptoed into the kitchen, smiled at the squirrel's special spoon. "Wouldn't it be fine," he murmured, "if I could be the head cook?" He drew up the stool, hopped on the top, and retched until his beak just touched to the tip of the spoon. Kerplunk! Down clattered the spoon. Then the duck trotted back to the bedroom, held up the spoon, and said, "Today is my turn to stir the soup." Oh, did he ask nice? Look at their faces. I think he forgot to ask nice to have a turn. Oh, let's see how this works out. "That's mine," squeaked the squirrel. "Stirring is my job. Give that back." "You're so much too small," snapped the cat. "We'll cook the way we always have." But the duck held on tight until the squirrel tugged with all his might, and whoop! The spoon spun through the air and bumped the cat right on the head. Then there was trouble, a horrible squabble, a row, a racket, a rumpus, and all in the old white cabin. Everyone was angry. They forgot to talk to each other. Talk starts with T, 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 t. Talk, Tiziano, telephone. What other words begin with the sound t, t, t? "I'm not staying here," wailed the duck. "You never let me help with anything." And he packed up a wheelbarrow, put on his hat, and waddled away. "You'll be back," stormed the cat, "after we've cleaned up." And the squirrel shook his spoon into the air, but Duck didn't come back. Not for breakfast, not even for lunch. "I'll find him," scoffed the cat. "He'll be hiding outside." You think he's hiding? He was very, very angry. I don't know if he plans on coming back. I bet he's in the pumpkin patch. But the duck was not in the pumpkin patch. They could not find him anywhere. Where do you think that he went? Where do you go when you're angry? Sometimes I have to walk away when I'm angry. I have to walk away, calm my body, and listen to the birds or count. What do you do when you're angry? What could Duck do? So they waited all that long afternoon. They waited and waited and waited and waited. Cat watched the door. Squirrel paced the floor. That duck will be sorry when he comes home, they said. But the duck didn't come home, not even at soup time. Oh, he is very, very angry. The soup was not tasty. They'd made it too salty. They didn't feel hungry anymore. They both sobbed over their supper, and their tears dripped into their soup and made it even more salty. We should have let him stir the soup, sniffed the squirrel. He was only trying to help, wept the cat. Let's go look for him. Now they're feeling sad that they didn't listen to his words. Maybe if he would have spoke his words softer to them, they would have listened. The cat and the squirrel were scared as they wandered down the path in the dark, dark woods. They feared for the duck, all alone with the trees and the fox and the wolves and the witches and the bears. But they could not find him anywhere. Look at that scary forest. Oh man, I would be scared if I had to go out there without my friend. Friends help us be brave. On and on they trudged until they reached the edge of the steep, steep cliff. Oh no, where did Duck go? Maybe he fell down that, wailed the cat. Oh, I'll save him, squeaked the squirrel, and he stumbled down on a long, shaky rope, and he searched all around on the ground, but he could not find Duck. You think Duck fell down that hole? That's a long fall. I hope not. Then the cat whispered in the sad little voice, Duck might have found some better friends. He might, sighed the squirrel, friends who let him help. And the more they thought about it, as they plodded back, the more they were sure that they were right. Do you think Duck found more friends? Oh, they are so sad. They're missing Duck. Wonder what Duck is doing. But when they were almost home, they saw a light shining from the old white cabin. It's Duck, they shrieked, and they burst through the door. And Duck was so happy to see them. He was also very hungry, and though it was late, they thought it would be okay to make... What are they going to make? What's this story called? Pumpkin soup. Do you think they're going to make it? What's going to happen this time? Some pumpkin soup. Look at that mess they're making. Oh my goodness. When the duck stirred and the cat and the squirrel did not say a word, Not even when the duck stirred the soup so fast that it slopped right out of the pot. Not even when the pot got burnt. Then the duck showed the squirrel how to measure the salt, and the soup was still the best you ever tasted. So once again, it was peaceful in the old white cabin until the duck said, "I think I'll play the bagpipes now." Whose are the bagpipes? Well, he forgot to ask. Oh, look, they got angry with each other again. When you want to use somebody else's things, you need to remember to ask, and ask in a nice voice. When you ask somebody, they might give you a turn, but they might not, and it's okay, because sometimes we want to keep our things for ourselves, and that's okay. We just have to remember that when somebody says, "Can I play with your toy?" we say, "No, not right now." Or we could say, "No, it's my toy." Which one do you think is better? I like the first one. Maybe in a little while you can play with my toy. Or do you have something you can trade me? We practice these at school. Remember to practice these at home with your brothers and sisters. Okay, everybody, I love you. Have a safe day. Go outside and play and learn something about nature. Bye-bye.